Hello, it's early Saturday morning and I just popped out to the greenhouse to open the door and to water the plants that were here and then to go in and have a shower and do something about this slightly wild hair. You know how it is when you go to do one thing and then you do another, and then while you're there you just do another. So about 2 hours ago I opened the greenhouse door and I'm still here planting seeds. I filled about 40 of these little pots with compost and got various different squashes and pumpkins into them. Now the instructions say they won't germinate unless it's 25 degrees. Which is certainly not. We are up in double figures. We're at about 11, 12, 13, but with the door shut in the greenhouse obviously it's that little bit warmer again. And then I've also, as you can see in the back there, covered the trays with fleece. So I've got a double layer of fleece on here and also on all the others as well. In the hope that will just give them just enough warmth to get going, because although they won't germinate until they're warm enough, once they've germinated and got the first couple of seeds, they'll then grow on with it being a little bit cooler, and hopefully by the time they've done that it will be a bit warmer anyway. My plan for this year is to start all of them reasonably early, let them grow on in the greenhouse, get them potted into big pots. I have got loads of big pots saved to put the plants in, grow them on in here a bit, and then plant them out, because this year I'm not sure I'm going to grow any tomatoes. I might do, but I don't think I am. I've bought one packet of tomato seeds and the last 2 years I've had masses of tomatoes in here and we haven't eaten them. It was lovely to have a few fresh in the late summer and in the autumn when they ripened, but all the ones I've put in the freezer, of the pounds and pounds I've put in the freezer, we just haven't eaten them and we haven't fancied them, and we haven't fancied tomato things. Maybe come the winter I will regret it, but my feeling is that we are shifting what we eat very slightly, and we seem to be eating fewer and fewer tomato based meals, and I use a bit of tomato puree, and maybe I should make the ones that I've got into a puree, but I'm actually finding them really acidic and I haven't been enjoying them, so it doesn't seem to make sense to use up all this growing space. You know, it's a 10-foot long greenhouse and this bed in here is about 4 feet across, so that's a decent sized bed that was just getting wasted if I'm growing tomatoes that we're not going to eat. But I have got some watermelon seeds, and I also thought I might try growing some butternut squash under cover here and just see if that makes a huge difference. One of the other things that I've sown this morning is the horizontal Aztec broccoli, which is one of the 3 new things that I'm planting this year. I'm actually planting plenty more. I did a video in collaboration with Rose over at Wholesome Roots called 3 new things I'm growing this year, and that was one of them. So I'm pleased to say that I've got those seeds sown, and I've also got the Asturian tree cabbage sown, and they've started germinating, and I can't for the life of me right now remember what the other one was but I'll make sure that I have sown it. Do you want to see how things have come up? So here's how everything is doing. That's the broad beans that are coming up, Cavallo de Nero and red kale, mange 2. At the back there is, this is the Savoy cabbage. This is 2 different types of purple sprouting broccoli, an earlier one and a late one. Here, this is the Asturian tree cabbage. You see how much bigger its leaves are than the January King cabbage next to it. And at the back here we've got some red cabbage. This I've done this morning, so there you go, there's my horizontal. These are the herbs I potted up, they're looking good, I'm happy. So there's the squashes under their fleece. more of the herbs, and I've put the lavenders up on the windowsill up there, and here I'm very pleased to say are the leeks. The rest of the squashes are all under here, and there are also here 3 sweet potato plants. I bought those sweet potato plants last year and never got them into the ground. Threw them outside the greenhouse because the season was over, so there was no point. And I had a look at them, they're still alive. So they've survived the winter. Luckily I brought them in before the snow and the real freeze, so they've been sitting in here, and I have now just watered them again, pop them under that cover, and hopefully they will now grow on. Be interesting to see if they do. I'm not really expecting them to, but it would be worth a try. So the last tray of seeds that I'm sowing this morning before I go in and get that shower is some lettuce. This was a pack of free seeds, so completely free food, and also one called Black Seeded Simpson. Got no idea what it's like, can't even remember what the picture looked like, but definitely it's got to be worth planting a few of these seeds. One of the mistakes that I regularly seem to make with lettuce is to sow far too many seeds. The temptation is to throw masses on because they're only little seeds, but actually what I want to do is sow them quite thinly. Because, well, these are going to reach adulthood pretty much all at the same time. It's only me that eats lettuce. Mr. J will eat it, but he's not really a fan. And so what is the point of having 500 lettuces, or even 50 lettuces, all germinating at the same time? So I think the trick with things like lettuces is to sow them really thinly, but sow them regularly. So do these now, do some more in about 3 weeks to a month's time, and just keep on keeping on with just a few at a time, so that so I've got sort of 3 weeks to a month's worth growing at any one time, and well, they'll never go to waste because the chickens will eat them. It's a bit of a waste of growing space to have tons of lettuces either going to seed or just taking up space where we could be growing something else. So now the black seeded lettuce. Now this is going to be harder to sow simply because I can't see so easily where it's landed. Well, it's not too bad. I can see a little bit. What I can see is quite a lot of it is grouped together too much. So I've put both in the tray. It will be obvious when they come up which is which, and because I'm not terribly picky about them, it doesn't matter if they're growing next to each other anyway. Now these lettuce seeds are not for growing micro leaves, they're not for growing mini fresh cut and come again type lettuce. I actually want most of those to grow into mature lettuces, because in the summer I'm really happy just to eat a lettuce and a hard-boiled egg to make up a salad, maybe with a few beans. And I do quite like the little microgreens, but just you have to have so many of them, and they're very sweet as a garnish, and it's lovely if you're in the restaurant trade, and I'm not knocking them. They're just not for me. I want a substantial lettuce, and I will eat a whole lettuce at one sitting with its very few calories and very little substance, but I do find that very refreshing in the summer. So I'm going to give this a little water. I'm then going to cover it with a sheet of glass, and the only reason I'm covering it is because the cats will dig in the tray. I just want to give them a little bit of chance to get germinating before they get catted. there we go, a piece of glass over the top. Hopefully, I'll just turn that over actually. Hopefully that will deter the cats just long enough to let those seeds start germinating. And obviously for a while the cats will be shut out of the greenhouse anyway. So that's it for me today. Wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you can join me again next time.